Hello everyone, today we will see the difference between 5 different levels of interior rendering in Enscape. So the first level is where most people use the imported renders and just go straight to render without spending much time stylizing and playing with the settings. Even at this level, Enscape is pretty good at creating renders just to give your clients a quick idea of how everything is going to look like. I'd definitely suggest to at least use ultra rendering quality in the settings and the highest resolution that your computer can handle if you want to get the best out of basic rendering with the highest quality and resolution. If you're at this level, I'd definitely suggest you to explore more of these next tips or other Enscape options because you can definitely reach even higher quality with a low amount of effort to put in. For the second level, one thing that will make most of the difference is using high quality materials. You can replace the existing ones either with PBR materials that you can find in websites like texturebox.com, which you can find the link of in the description, or you can use the Enscape material library. In this instance, I will use a combination of both. As you can see, I am replacing every single material either with one I downloaded from the internet and I'm uploading it through SketchUp or from the Enscape material library. And as you can see, this makes all the difference in the beginning stages. If you want to see a full guide of materials in Enscape and how they work, I will leave a link in the description or you can find the video in the top right corner of the screen right now. On level 3, one of the biggest factors on making your renders better is composition. We can change up the angle of the camera to something that puts the furniture in center if that is what you want to emphasize for the render. Also, it is usually suggested to set the perspective to 2 points view and tweak the focal length to something more suitable than what we have right now. This will give the render a more photographic feel rather than the view we had previously. And as you can see, even without any changes in materials or lighting, just a quick change in the camera settings and angle makes a huge difference on how representative your render is. I believe that composition can either make or break your image, and it is usually the factor that catches the attention of your viewer. Especially if you're planning to use your images in social media, you definitely want to catch someone's attention while they're scrolling through their feed. A lot of photography composition rules are applicable in the ArcViz world as well, which is what brings us to the sponsor of this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. I myself joined Skillshare because I'm looking more into photography and composition, where I'm taking the Frame a Great Shot Exploring Photo Composition course by Porter Yates. I believe this course will improve my presentation skills and my composition in renders, since a lot of the tips are applicable in the ArcViz world as well. It is also a great place to improve other areas like illustration, graphic design, freelancing, and any other type of creative outlet that you think can complement architecture. Skillshare is ad-free, so you won't have any distractions while you're exploring new skills. New premium classes launched each week, so there's always something new to discover, and the entire catalog is now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description box or my code SCALE will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Let's get on to the video. So most scenes need some accessories to not make the scene boring and plain. A few things that I like to add in interior living room scenes are plants, books on the table, curtains, and a trim on the perimeter of the floor, which gives it a nice finishing and to most people makes a big difference, especially if you're dealing with real estate clients. Obviously, the more you go into detail with modeling and all of this scene, the more realistic your render will look. But the huge amount of assets that Enscape offers shouldn't excite you too much in case you want to overuse the assets. It is very important to leave room to breathe to every single element on the scene, that way they get all the attention that they deserve. Make sure that the elements you are using match the style of the interior and the color palette, and also any mood boards that you have in your disposal. One thing that a lot of people underestimate in interior renders are HDRIs. This is mainly because HDRIs are thought of as an exterior asset, but the truth is that a lot of the interior materials reflect the colors and lighting of the HDRI. To showcase this to you, I'm going to try 3 different HDRIs and I'm going to put them as 3 different settings preset. That way I can change between them in only one click. As you can see, the difference that it has on the overall lighting and coloring of the image is pretty drastic. The other good thing about using HDRIs in interior scenes is that you don't have to use the make the brightest point as sun direction option. That way you can keep the image in its own direction that seems more suitable for your scene in openings like the windows, etc. And at the same time you can move the sun independently just how you want it without an HDRI in whatever position you feel like it would make your scene better. So for the final level, and what I feel like is the most advanced tip we're going to talk about, is the Enscape Studio lighting, or as I like to call it, the fake lighting. What we do in this stage is that we put Enscape light sources from the Objects tab even in places where they don't really belong or where they don't have a light coming through in reality. But this is one of the reasons why it's so tricky, because you can either make it look very unrealistic and just plain awful, or you can create very soft shadows that make the scene very attractive and peaceful to the viewer. So on our attempt to add this type of lighting, we will turn off the sun intensity all the way down to 0%, and we will replace this with our fake sun, which consists of spotlight sources. I will add 5 of these light sources and make their angle as wide as possible. This creates much softer shadows than the sun source creates. Another thing that you can also do is put a rectangular light source where the window is, but I don't really use this as much. I really prefer the spotlights much better as a outside light source. The other type of lighting that we have to use is to emulate studio lights. I will do this with a line option, and I will set them up vertically. I will also leave some space between them and multiply 5 or 6 of them, and I will put these in a few angles where I think need light. To locate the areas that we need more lighting, we can easily turn the mode to the light mode in the settings, or turn down the contrast all the way down to 0, and we can detect the dark spots this way as well. There is a lot of room to play with lighting in Enscape. These are just a few of the things that I like to do to enhance the scenes. But if you want to check lighting in more detail and learn more about it, I have a full guide on my channel, which I will leave the link in the description, and also you can find it on the top right corner of the screen right now. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and also check out my Patreon. Thank you very much once again, and I will see you in the next one.